Hey everybody, it's Jacki Jing, and thank you so much for joining us for the 4th episode of Jing Dynasty. And, I wanted to talk about why I hate myself so much and what I need to do about that. Because I realized as of late that I am very self-destructive and I self-sabotage and I take actions that don't benefit myself at all. And I'm just like, and my therapist was like, why do you do that? And she was like, you're very smart. You're very aware that you're doing things to self-sabotage, and you're smart. Like, it's not like you're in denial. Like, you are like, hey, yeah, I did this and I don't know why I did that, And she was like, so like, why are you doing that? And I could not give her an answer. And then she was like, why do you dislike yourself so much? And I was like, okay, I got to think about that. So, of course, I didn't think about that. And I decided to just do a podcast episode about it and just try to come up with answers in front of a bunch of strangers. Well, you guys aren't strangers because most of the people who listen to this are my patrons, and y'all are dope, and I love you. But anyway, anyways, I basically didn't plan this. So I'm just going to think about, like, why I hate myself so much. I think the first thing that comes to my mind is that, when I was younger, my parents didn't really give me a lot of attention. And so I feel like I was like constantly doing like a song and dance to like try to get them to like love me and have affection for me. And it just like didn't happen. You know what I mean? And, I have a really good relationship with both of my parents now. Like, they were humans. They had kids. They probably weren't particularly equipped, mental health wise for it, but goddamn did they do their best. And I love them so much because I know that they did their best and they tried their hardest, and that, they really, they wanted the best for me and my brother and my sister, and they thought that they were doing the right things in the moment, or they were doing the best they could with the parenting that they were provided, So I don't really have, I watch these TikToks, and sometimes like the people are really like mad at their parents, and they're just like, oh, well, my mom did this and this and this to me, so like, why should I have any like sympathy for her and all this stuff? And I don't know, that's hard for me because I'm like, we're all humans and we're all just trying our best, right? And like, my mom and my dad, they already have suffered so much. Like, I know that they had really hard lives, and then they ended up having 3 kids, and they really did not know how to be great parents. But like, I know in my heart that in those moments, like, they're really trying their best, And so I don't know, maybe people will like comment on this and they're going to be like, wow, you're letting them off easy. But like, I love my parents so much, and they're human, And after my brother died, like, I just don't think that there's any room for like hatred in my heart, I think that hate is such a awful emotion. It's such a waste of energy. And like, I don't want to spend any more time like being mad at my parents, hating my parents, because like, I know that they were going through so much. Like, all human beings, like, all of us are like trying to get through, trying to carry on, trying our damnedest. It's hard for me to get mad at anyone when they like fail me, because I'm just like, well, like they're just trying their best. And maybe people are like, well, Jackie, you're too easy on people, but like I'd rather just forgive and let things go than waste my time like being angry and hateful. Like it's just like I hate both of those emotions so much. So funny because I hate and anger, but then I have so much hate and anger towards myself. So yeah, I kind of went off on a detour there, folks. So I think that like I'm constantly trying to make people happy because of the way that I was raised. Like I think that like I really get upset when someone doesn't like me. And just straight up, I have a super polarizing personality. Like I'm extremely outgoing, I'm extremely talkative, I'm very blunt. Like my dad told me, like, 50% of the people you meet are gonna like love you. They're gonna think you're amazing. And then 50% of the people are just like ain't gonna be about it. And like you have to learn to accept that. But I just think because I didn't get a lot of attention as a child from my parents, and I endured a lot of bullying and abuse, that it made me hate myself, because I was like, why can't I be loved? Why are people so mean to me, so negative to me? And it made me really hate myself. If they think so lowly of me, like I am that, and I'm not worthy. And so I'm like almost 34 years old now, and I'm still struggling with that. Like this bullied, abused, really sad child who like hated herself and felt like nobody loved her and felt all alone. Like now I've grown into an adult who feels like nobody loves her and very alone. So then when I find people who are actually like interested in me, like as I talked about on the last podcast, like I find ways to scare them away, because like deep down I just don't see why anybody would want to be with me, like I also think that like I'm subconsciously scaring them away. But then I'm also like that's part of it. But then I'm also just like, please, 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 like me. I just want them to like me so badly. And then that's just like messing up the energy of any relationship. Like there should never be like a person who's like trying the most. So, yeah, like it's interesting. I was watching this TikTok. This is like the second time I said this now, but I was watching a TikTok, and there was this girl on there, and she, was missing some teeth, and she had like body hair, and her hair wasn't like super thick or anything, and she wasn't wearing any makeup, and she was like, people are surprised that I have a man when I look like this. And then she's like, but I'm like looking at all of y'all, and you all are like, oh, how can she get a man when I'm pretty? And how did I get cheated on when I'm pretty and I'm, do the dishes and clean and do everything, and I got WAP, you know what I mean? And she was like, that's because you are basic, and your whole life you've been trying to get picked, like, and you're just, you're worried about like getting chosen, getting selected, being loved. And holding on to that and having control over that. And she was like, pick yourself. Pick yourself. Like, in the end, we come into this world alone. We die alone, right? Like, in the end, we only have ourselves. And I'm a very, like, Catholic loving person. And I very much appreciate friendships. And I very much appreciate relationships. But, like, I have put so much power into love with another person and relationships and friendships. It's like, I don't love myself. I've been trying to do this song and dance for everybody, for my parents, for the kids who bullied me, for bosses at my jobs, for people who didn't like me for whatever reason, for guys who treated me like absolute dog dirt, you know? And it's like, you have to reach a point where you're just like, I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to get you all to like me. Like, I just have to like myself. So how do I get myself to like myself? You know, like, it's like people are like, you're all these great things. It's just like, why can't I see that? And then it's like, I'm like, I do see it. I do know why I have the great friends that I do. And I do know why I have my amazing Jing dynasty. It's because, like, you all know that I've seen a lot of pain. And I'm still really positive, and I still push on, you know, and that makes me like feel so inspired, you know, like I really adore my friendships, and I really adore the people who are in the Jing dynasty, because like I know, like, to y'all, like, you think I'm so positive and so strong, you know. And I do see that in myself. I do see that I'm like a really positive person who's very strong with a good heart. And I'm proud of myself for that. I think that I've seen a lot of trauma in my life. And that trauma has made me feel like I'm unworthy of being loved. Like, I'm just such a hot mess. Like, it's just like, I'm like, why would anyone want to be with someone who has like just gone through so much, you know? Like, my friend told me that this guy that I was talking to was like, she just seems like she could be hurt really easily, you know? And I didn't really have anything to say to that. I was like, yeah. Like, I'm a very sensitive person after everything that I've gone through, you know? Like, it's just, it's been a tough life for sure. So anyway, this is getting a little depressing. Okay. Like, we gotta switch it up here. I don't like myself because of my trauma. And I just realized that my trauma does not define me. My trauma is actually something immense. My trauma, I need to, instead of thinking of it as like something that weakens me, or think of it as like something that makes me less than, my trauma makes me strong. My trauma makes me different than the other people in this world. I have to use that trauma. I have to embrace that trauma. Because frankly, like, it has made me so strong and so resilient. Like, a lot of you don't know what happens behind the scenes, you know, like, I'm a hustler, you know, like, I don't have a full-time job. I'm freelance, you know, and I'm constantly, you know, on the hunt for, you know, esports gigs, anime gigs, entertainment gigs. And then I have a bunch of part-time jobs, you know what I mean? Like, and I am just, you know, I stream, I have my Patreon, like, I'm just hustling. I'm just trying my best to get my bills paid, you know? And people will be like, you know, I'm really impressed with, like, you know, most people wouldn't be able to like handle that kind of lifestyle. But you know, my entire life I have been the type of person who can still thrive when facing adversity, when facing tragedy. Like, I think it's because my childhood was so hard that now nothing can stop me. Like, when there's a challenge in front of me, I'm like, I have faced demons and monsters way worse than you. So get out of the way or I'm going to destroy you. That's it. I think literally like in this moment right now, doing this podcast, this is the first time that I have to admit that like I love myself and it's been a really, really tough life for me, you know? I lost my brother, I lost my best friend. I've just like seen my family like absolutely torn to pieces over his death. But like, I'm just like, you know what? This loss of him, like I'm such a different person. I'm such a different person. And it's like, I want my brother back. I want my brother back here so badly. But I know that this has all happened for a reason. Because it's like, if I can wake up every morning and I can try to bring smiles to people's faces after losing my brother, my best friend, my twin, my inspiration, my biggest cheerleader, then like nothing can stop me. So it's like he's passed away and he's just like shining down on me from heaven, and he's like, please, like, see your greatness, see your worth, see your value. Like, you don't have anything to prove to anyone. You don't have anything to prove to anyone. Like, just be you and embrace you and be like proud of like absolutely everything that you've overcame. And I don't know why, like, I've looked back on, like, everything that I've gone through and I've been ashamed of it or mad about it or like, guarded or hidden about it, like, or just felt ill feelings about it. It's just, like, yeah, it was fucking hard. It was really fucking hard. But, like, now I've learned how to just thrive, like truly, like I don't care about money or fame or power. Like I just want to be happy, you know, make ends meet, play sand volleyball as much as I can, play video games as much as I can. And I know no matter what, like I'm going to survive. Like, I've survived so much. So it's like there's just no more reason for fear. There's no more reason for desperation, you know? Like those don't serve me anymore. Like I've seen so much. There's absolutely nothing to be scared of anymore. So, yeah. I think my big realization here is that I've really hated myself because of the abuse I endured in the past. And I've hated myself because, you know, I've made bad decisions and I did mess up, or I was weak in moments where I wish I was stronger. But I'm human. You know what I mean? And all of that adversity, all of that tragedy, it makes me who I am. And who I am is like a very understanding, compassionate, driven, extremely motivated. Like all of those characteristics that I have, I wouldn't have if I hadn't gone through what I did. So, like, instead of, like, looking back and being like, God damn, like, all that fucking sucked, because it did, you know, I should be like, look back and be like, I overcame all that. I made it through all that. So, nothing can stop me now. Come at me, bruh. Okay, on that fine note, we were at 20 minutes. So, I think that's it. And I think that I don't hate myself. I think I really love myself. And I think that I need to start picking me, right? Like, if I truly love myself and I really care about myself and I'm really picking myself, then I'm not going to keep myself in a work situation where people are super toxic to me and treat me badly. I'm not going to keep myself in a relationship where someone's making me feel less than and like not putting in the work, not putting in the same effort. I'm not going to do a song and dance for anybody anymore. Like, and try to make people like love me and have affection for me. The people who are supposed to be in my life, the job that's supposed to be in my life, the relationships that I'm supposed to have, like, they're all going to come to me. Like, I just have to be me and I just have to thrive. And, yeah, you know what? You always hear people say, like, oh, you need to love yourself. Like, once you love yourself, then that person will fall into your life. I don't even care about that person right now. Like, I want to look in the mirror and just be like, you're great. And, you know, a lot of that comes down to how we talk to ourselves. And that should probably be another episode because we are already at 22 minutes here. So, anyway, love you all lots. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you